ewie ni saa no na afi no ye kwa kopie mu ewo social media na ye den sama ekoso ewo honom abretifo ene ahwefo Ken e Japan air trendy Ken e Japan anase Kennedy Japan eye Asin Central Member of Parliament ono ena ose Ghana fo nyina mehyemobo say obe investigate the killing of investigative journalist Ahmed Swale and Member of Parliament of for Ibuakwa North JB Dankwa say mutu abama no ema no tumi ebeye president a we ade obema ni edisa ensemi echi na o say he's been accused of having a hand in the murder cases, hence he needs to exonerate himself. Ntino on to me exonerating the home adisa obeye president answer. Into speaking on a year good evening Ghana no and odisa ensemi nyina etoto edwa na o say that will force the police to act to find the culprit. I quote or say, the problem is if the president shows interest, the police will work, and I will show interest. I will show interest because it is me who has been accused. It is important to exonerate myself, unquote. I'm a Swale now or a member of ANAS, Arimiyawa ANAS Tiger IPI team, no. Now a year, January 2019, no, and I'm with Paboniphobia, yen to me and identify omo to ekuno ewa bra na oteni motorbike so a oko. Na he was shot 3 times, twice in the chest and another in the neck while driving to his Medina residence. Prior to his death, Mr. Japan had exposed the face of the journalist on his television network, NEC 2. Regarding JB Dankwa, the then NPP MP was stabbed in the neck and chest multiple times on February 9, 2016 at his residence at Shiashi in Accra by suspected armed robbers, killing him in the process. One Daniel Siedua, a science friend, Sexy Dondo, was arrested and charged with the murder, but is yet to be convicted. Intisa and no etie commented by no any. Bule say the citizens are reflective of their leaders. Joseph say Ghanaians, let us reason up and forget about this vote for me, I will do this and that. Salom say we are talking about what Ghana needs now. We don't want to talk about what you lost. Says as a great news. Alpha says so he wants us to vote for him to come and work as a CID or CCTV camera and also ewo honum. If one of my bondholders who and some koso. Na the New Patriotic Party MPP was going to be defeated heavily in the 2024 general elections because of the inclusion of individual bondholders and no candidate upon kano or say MPP adiambelu super because of sa position ya omo eteki na ewa broko pie mu ewo baby a ona all kasa no or say I quote I just read this evening that now they are not going to touch individual bondholders. We thank God. If not, we're going to lose miserably. It is good the finance minister has made a U-turn. What is going on in the world doesn't favor the MPP. The unfortunate thing for the NDC is that they have been in power before and they were not good managers. That is why you need a leader like Kennedy Ejapong, unquote. Comment I buy no any. Kwame say MPP and NDC are the same. My prayer is one God lets them all out. We've suffered for too long in this country. Nana say if Ghanaians don't like truth person in this nation, Ghana, Mr. Kenneth Japan will take us to 2024 for MPP all the way. Some will say individual bondholders have been affected. They will say it's not part as soon as you take your mind off pay, you realize you are a victim. And it will be too late, especially when you are going for your money. Kweku say, Master, if election should take place today, MPP will lose badly because the government has already destroyed Ghana's economy and Ghanaians are badly disappointed. If you want to know, National Rental Scheme Assistance, no, and as a National Rental Assistance Scheme, as I'm so trend, they social media. Na a year a buy enra a launch the National Rental Assistance Scheme as part of measures to provide decent accommodation for Ghanaians. Na Ghana for above 18 with valid national ID card and verifiable employment with an income qualify for a rent loan in 5 to 10 working days under the scheme. What to me apply na wo qualify na omo approve wa total rent, omu etuya directly Emma wo landlord and now wo landlady and I say wo fiewura. Na afe every month wunya osika na odi akwa akoma a year National Rental Assistance Scheme for no. Now applicants applicants are expected to be evicted from the house or room if they default on the monthly payment arrangement. And no, and national
rent
control for to say they can't evict you. Well, now the scheme is expected to be rolled out across the country into the emfa any baby wo ewo eye Ghana hanom. Na so say see ane de pilot phase and I wo mu a Greater Accra region, Ashanti, Western, and Bono East more and I mutumi apply bi say answer emre so a omo bie mu akọ all the other regions Speaking at the launch in Accra, Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia said the 5 regions were selected for the pilot because they are aware there is pressure on rent in the country. Dr. Bawumia said, unlike previous policies which are often marred by defaulters, the National Rental Assistance Scheme is in collaboration with private investors who wouldn't want their investment to go down the drain and will use any means possible to retrieve their funds, which will also eliminate any form of political interference. He also disclosed that government, through the Ministry of Works and Housing, has submitted a bill to Parliament seeking to replace the current rent law, which was passed over 5 decades ago and has lost its relevance. I quote, "I am happy to inform you that the government has made significant strides as far as the housing sector and renting management are concerned. Government, acting through the Ministry of Works and Housing, has submitted to Parliament for consideration and passage a rent bill to replace the existing Rent Act of 1963, Act 220. The current act was passed by Parliament 59 years ago, and therefore its relevance has been outlived by the current population growth, urbanization, housing availability, and general trends." Vice President S.I. Eko So Eka said, I quote, "Additionally, the passage of this act will enhance the rental market in Ghana, and we have the bill in Parliament, and when passed, it will enhance the service delivery of the Rent Control Office." Video ewo hono omayenhwe na yenti asema okai.
The scheme's implementation will initially commence in 5 regions: Greater Accra, Ashanti, Western, Eastern, and Bono East regions. As the Minister for Works and Housing has said, these were chosen based on the basis of where the most pressure on rent advance is. But the scheme will be rolled out to all 16 regions of Ghana in due course. In partnership with the private sector, and this is one of the novelties of this scheme, because government is working in partnership with the private sector. The scheme will provide low-interest loans to eligible Ghanaians to enable them pay rent in advance. These loans will be repaid monthly to match the tenor of the rent and will be supported by a bank guarantee in this case to ensure sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I hereby declare the National Rental Assistance Scheme duly launched.
All right, the experts will explain. Comment by no Ebini, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Nana Okasai. Comment Abano Eni. Kwame say, instead of building houses for workers to pay off gradually, you want to give them loans to burden them. Some of us don't like loans. Manuel say, just winning about rent is abnormal, profiteering when it comes to rent. Even Gomoa potting rent isn't easy to come by, let alone pay. Asemo Nyametiase. Daniel say, by the way, how many individuals did you estimate you will need this soft loan, and has a country barely able to meet its expenditure capable of such loans? And again, a government who cannot complete affordable houses for workers to move in to reduce the burden and demand for accommodation now through rent loans will be a better option than to complete buildings left in the bushes to rot. Rahima say, have you finished with the one student, one laptop? Hamda to say, if government was really interested in solving rent issue, they will build more affordable houses rather and not this showmanship scheme. This won't work. Simple. Nti saa ena comments no etia aha ena yede trend no ebesi